Hiya, it's Sam. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that is close to my heart, as everyone has their own insecurities in life due to numerous reasons, whether it be growing up, bullying, self-confidence. But yeah, my experiences today, I'm going to be discussing my experiences with surgery. So I don't know if you've noticed my previous videos, but I've made some videos about rhinoplasty, nose jobs, and other such things. But I just wanted to explain all the other things that I've done, just in case it's useful to anybody that might be thinking similar ways of doing certain things to improve themselves or make them more confident. Because it's a very difficult decision to when you choose to do something like that. So I just wanted to go through what I've been through. Well, basically, I've always had insecurities. I've always had an obsession with aging, believe it or not, and I've always had insecurities since growing up. When I was little, when I was growing up, I used to have, as kids do, goofy teeth. So I had little braces, little retainers, about 1997, 1998, when I was secondary school at school. And then it's sort of gone further from there. In 2008, I decided to have laser eye surgery, which was challenging because actually I've as I've mentioned in previous videos, got a wandering eye. I've googled this. It's strabismus or tropia. Strabismus or tropia is different to having a lazy eye, which is amblyopia. Basically, you can have blurred vision because one of your eyes is slightly not as strong as the other one, or the nerve endings behind the eyes aren't quite as tight or in line. But anyway, through stress, tiredness, staring at screens for too long, and like I play little video games and stuff like that. So one of my eyes would just sort of like wander off. And it's most frustrating when I'm trying to do videos, especially for YouTube and stuff like that, when I have to edit massive chunks out because my eye's messed up, or I have to re-record whole sections. But that is down to my own insecurities, and I'm sure a lot of people probably wouldn't notice, but I do. And everyone's got their own issues, everyone's got things that they hate, that they either hate or they don't like about themselves. So that could be caused by people in the past mentioning it, or maybe it's just your own insecurities. But either way, it's all to do with positivity and mental health, isn't it? From a young child, I've always had a vision of what I wanted to be, of how I wanted to be, and to be honest, no one's ever happy with the way they are. People who have straight hair want curly hair. People who are, they want different things to what they've got. But I can quite safely say that it's taken me a long while to get to the way I am, and I'm okay. I'm okay with myself, and I'm quite proud to say that, because at the end of the day, no one's ever truly happy within themselves, really. I'm not, but I think I'm okay. The other thing I did was laser eye surgery. So I had laser eye surgery. It was LASIK, and it was through Ultralase. So here's my Ultralase lifetime care guarantee. So basically that was in Reading, and I had the surgery through in Guildford. So that was done on LASIK. It was for myopia and astigmatism. So I suppose they classed my wandering eyes as astigmatism at the time. Perhaps because I have got a slight astigmatism, potentially. But they sometimes don't do laser eye surgery if you've got astigmatism, because it's difficult to do. But luckily I was able to do it. And it's back when laser eye surgery was first coming in. It wasn't as popular, as well known as it is now, I believe, and it's got a lot sort of more efficient and cheaper nowadays. But back in 10-15 years ago, it was quite relatively new, I believe. But yeah, this was my surgeon, Paul Cherry. I had to have at Ultralase, I had to have a specialist because of my wandering eye, who helped me with that. Because obviously, and I had to sign a disclaimer because excuse me, I had to sign a disclaimer because obviously there could be more complications because of the fact that I have a lazy eye. So if you've got a wandering eye or a lazy eye or anything like that, you can potentially have laser eye surgery, but you do have to have a specialist, because obviously if your eye's not in alignment and they're potentially correcting a section of your eye, then you don't want it to go wandering off mid-surgery. I imagine that's probably what the cause was. Either way, I do have a lifetime care guarantee. Not obviously needed to use that, thank goodness. And obviously with any surgery, with laser eye surgery especially, there's no guarantee the effects will last forever, because naturally through age your cornea hardens and you just generally need reading glasses as you get older anyway. That's just a natural thing, and they do state that. But yeah, I was really happy with the results that I got. I within a week of having the surgery, you sit in a dark room, you have to have these plastic things with holes, plastic round things that you stick on your eyes at night time so you don't rub your eye, because in theory what's happened is there is sorry if it's uncomfortable, don't watch this bit if you're squeamish. There's like a corneal flap that they laser. They can either cut or laser, and then they lift the flap up and laser inside the eye, then they put the flap back down, and then obviously you can't touch your eye. I think obviously like with any surgery or piercings or anything, 6 weeks generally. I think it's 6 weeks. I'll double check that. But yeah, you can't touch your eye for at least a week. And then it's amazing because when you go from needing glasses and you're short-sighted to not needing glasses, it's amazing. You can see, you can wake up, you're not stumbling, reaching for your glasses, you can just see. You can go swimming, you can see. Sometimes it's good to be a bit blurry-eyed when you're in the swimming pool, I must admit. I'm joking. But no, it was a win-win. Because another thing that I used to hate was having I was wearing contact lenses quite a lot, and contact lenses can make your eyes really dry and sore and itchy, especially if you accidentally sleep in them. People will know that, it's a nightmare. So yeah, that was my experience with laser eye surgery, which was very successful. I enjoyed it. Not enjoyed it, but I was happy with the result. Next thing, 2014, I took it upon myself to do one of the most silliest things I've ever done in my life, which is to remove my own moles. Mole, wart and skin tag removal should be done by a dermatologist or an expert, not just by buying a kit on Amazon ideally. To the point where I ordered this stuff called Dermatend. Dermatend was a little tiny tube of herbal plant-based material that you basically get the kit, little tube, you get little cocktail sticks, little scrapers, scrape your moles, scrape them so they irritate them, make them red, then you put the herbal dark brown substance on it, and then it would sting. You leave it on there for a little bit, and then within a week or a few days, sorry, it would scab up, the scab would drop off, the mole would come off with it, most cases, and then you'd have like a little crater, and then it would just heal. I must admit, I was very happy with the results, and I was very lucky because I had a big mole here, big mole here, big mole here. And when I first started out doing my fashion modelling about sort of 10, 12 years ago, I was having to do catwalk shows and putting makeup over them because I didn't like them. And I felt that when I was wearing, I was doing a catwalk show in London and wearing some designs from Nico de Donna. And I was walking down the catwalk and I had it on show and I could see my moles. So I was literally putting makeup to cover them because I was that insecure about them. So as you can see now, there's nothing there. There's a couple old ones there, but there was one here, one here, one here, and sorry about the belly there, but yeah, it worked well, and I had one on a few on my neck as well, which have gone. But on looking into this, this was 2014, so looking into this a few years later, I've actually looked, and the company was the FDA, which is the American health regulators, never obtained the agency's approval to sell the products promoted over the counter, and there was actually a lawsuit, and the product's been taken off. I mean, because I googled Dermatend, it's called, to see if it was actually on Amazon, so I could put the link in the description so you can see for yourself. There are alternatives there, mole and skin tag and wart removal, but Dermatend itself has been removed. I was told it was at the time, it was herbal, it was fine. But I think because of the fact that you're messing around with your body, which can be, it can mask and it can hide certain skin complaints and imperfections that dermatologists need to be able to see. And if you're messing around with it, then they might not see other complications that can happen, such as, you know, cancers and things, which is horrendous, that you shouldn't mess around with it. So I was foolish to do so. Am I happy with the results that I received? Yes, but I was lucky. Is there going to be complications in the future down the line? I don't know, and that's the risk that I took. So I was. This is the thing with me. I'm incredibly impulsive, and if I want to do something, I just do it. I don't think about it. I do research a bit. I like to think that I research, but if I want to do something, I do it. And I think sometimes that can be not a good thing, because you really, really have to take advice and listen to people. And well, in this instance, everyone kept on telling me, oh, the Dermatend, not a good idea, you shouldn't be doing with that. There's a wives' tale that said don't mess around with moles because it can give you cancer. It's not necessarily a wives' tale, it is just precautionary because it's dermatology and it shouldn't be messed around with unless you're a specialist or health, or you just health medical. That's why these things are expensive, because they have to be done carefully in the right environment. So yeah, I was stupid and lucky that I didn't have any problems, touch wood, yet. Other thing that I did, right, so I've had my braces, I've had my eye surgery, I've had my mole removal, 2016, 2017, something that's bugged me my whole life. And I've had lots of messages and comments on my previous videos about my nose jobs, that I didn't need to do it, that my nose was fine. But like I say, it's all down to personally how you feel inside. I had lots of issues growing up. I've always had this vision in my head, like I said at the beginning of the video, I've had all this vision in my head of how I wanted to be. I wanted to be this cool, hippie, long-haired, button-nosed, cute, tanned, no moles, no straight teeth. Just the idea of perfection in your head of what I wanted to be, kind of like a surfer dude, kind of cool. And fine, I'm nearly getting to the way I feel comfortable with, or the way that I physically can be. I'm lucky that I still have hair on my head. Lots of people my age don't have much hair. People are going grey. I probably have got greys, but I haven't noticed any yet. I'm just very, 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 very lucky, and I do realise that. And I'm very, very grateful. But all the things that I've been trying to do to myself have been all my insecurities, complete insecurities. You don't need to do these things. It's all about state of mind. It's all about how I've been treated in the past and how you might be treated in the past to make you feel a certain way in a certain mindset. And I think it's a shame. It's a real shame. On reflection, would I have changed anything? I'm happy that my moles are gone, but I wish I'd done it in a healthier way. Should I have done my laser eye surgery? Yes, I'm really pleased I did have my laser surgery, but there's no long-term review or guidance on what can happen 50, 60 years with laser eye surgery, because it's only been about for that length of time. So to find out what the long-term results are going to be, nobody knows. This is what's concerning. So yeah, I had my nose jobs in 2016. You've seen the videos that I put. I did a 7-day review. Basically, I was like going through day by day what it was like. It is painful, but it's more uncomfortable. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of bruising. It's a lot of swelling. I got really fed up because it was May time. This time, basically. And it was hot. I didn't want to be stuck inside. I had to have a mask and a thing on my nose. I expected immediate results. I expected it to be perfect. And I had such high expectations of what I wanted. I used to do little pictures of like my nose and get pictures side by side comparisons of exactly what I wanted. And when I finally had the cast taken off, I wasn't particularly that happy because it was so swollen. It looked like a big sort of nose. It wasn't curved. It was just, and I went along with it. I thought, fine, the swelling will go down. A year later, I discovered there was a bit of a polybeak deformity on the end of my nose. It kind of like it is a bit now, actually, and I'll explain that in a minute. But basically, it was not as perfect as I had envisioned. So, a year later, I went back to Transform, because I had it done with Dr. Khan at Transform in Peterborough, but I went to Brentwood in London to have the surgery done. I think that's a lot of surgeries are done down North London way from where I live. Lovely experience both times. You used a hospital bed and you had food and everyone was really attentive. You had your own room, but I wasn't happy with the results. So I had surgery and I demanded basically that I had it redone for free. So very, very nicely of them, they redid the surgery for me again. So I had 2 surgeries for the price of 1 basically. Second surgery went really, really well. I was much more happy with the second result. Had that test taken off. It was straighter, it was smaller, and it didn't take as long to heal because it wasn't quite as invasive. The first time they did it, they took a big chunk of bone out the top of my nose, whereas it was all closed rhinoplasty just through the nostrils. It wasn't cut or anything, which is an open rhinoplasty. But I was really, really pleased. About a year or 2 later, I had a bit of a scrap drunkenly with a friend, sorry, and it got knocked and my nose depressed in. So eventually I ended up with a scooped little nose like you can see here, but that wasn't intentional. It was actually really nice and straight because they advised me that if a bloke has a man or a bloke, that's in their opinion, if a bloke has a nose that's a bit too buttony, then it could look a bit too feminine. Obviously, I'm not particularly bothered either way, but that's what I wanted, and that's what I've ended up with in theory. But that was accidental because it got knocked. Yeah, so it has lost a lot of its strength though, and I do worry about it sometimes. It's going to collapse in on itself, but I think I'm okay at the moment. So yeah, these surgeries are not to be taken lightly. They can be quite horrific and not dangerous necessarily, but worrisome, quite worrisome. The only other things that I've done, so I've done my brace, done my eye surgery, removed my own moles. Unfortunately, when I was 7, I broke my jaw. When I was dancing in the garden, fell on my face, broke my jaw. My face isn't quite straight or even. That's another thing that's bothered me. I don't know if you've ever had things where you've broken things and you don't feel quite in alignment. So, because everybody would like to be perfectly symmetrical, but at the end of the day, nobody is. Well, hardly anybody is, and in my opinion. I always feel one of my eyes is higher than the other one. I feel like my face isn't straight. These are the things that play on your mind, and these are the things that make you feel really insecure about yourself. And I'm just being really open and honest and raw with you because, well, why not? I'm just an open, honest person, and I hope that if anybody else is having insecurities and they look at me, for example, or anybody else and think, oh, they're really confident, just know that that isn't always the case. Because inside anybody, we've all got our insecurities, and I just want to stress and remind people of that because I, especially more than anybody else, has had my own devils and demons to have to deal with. And that's not me being a martyr or bigging myself up in any way, shape or form, because I'm not. I'm just trying to be of help, and all I want to do in my videos actually is just to be of help and benefit and inspiration in a weird sort of way if I can be. So, but yeah. And the only other thing that I've done most recently, now I'm getting a little bit older, is Botox and fillers. When I had my 30th birthday party a few years ago, I had some Botox, and actually that was before I had my nose job done. So I had filler in the top of my nose. It was bumped up and had a little dip there, and they put Juvederm filler or Restylane was one of them in the top of my nose just to push that out so it looked straighter. So even before I had my nose job, I was having non-surgical procedures to try and make my nose look straighter. This is how insecure that I was. I'm going to try and get some photos for this video and slot them in to show you where I'm coming from with this. But yeah, so yeah, Botox and it's such a commonplace now, isn't it? You can just go to your local dermatologist or place that does it, and they'll just whack it in there and it's done. And it's become as common as having your teeth whitened or your hair cut even, or your hair having keratin. I mean, I had a Brazilian blow dry one time, which is a really a few years ago that wouldn't be the case. They wouldn't be doing it so frequently, but a lot of places are doing things like this now, which is kind of cool in a way, because it's more accessible to everybody, and it's becoming cheaper as well. But yeah, Botox, it's wearing off now because of lockdown, and I haven't actually had any done. Do I need it? Probably not. Can people notice it? Probably not. But if it makes you feel good and it's not hurting anybody and you can afford it, then do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because you feel that you're ugly and you feel that people make you feel. Do it because you want to do it for yourself. I can talk because obviously I've been doing stuff for insecurities, and in my personal opinion, I feel that it's helped me with my confidence. I feel that having my moles removed, having my nose done, having my surgeries has made me feel really, really confident. And I do get lots of compliments, and I do say, when people say, oh, you're looking really good and everything else. But it's not always the case inside, and just be really careful with things that you think about. And I just want this to be an open discussion. Put some, if you think I'm wrong in what I'm saying, please. I don't think anyone's right or wrong really. Just post it in the comments and give me your opinions, because this is kind of like a follow-up to my 2 nose job reviews that I've done, plus the moles, plus the laser eye surgery, plus my insecurities about my jaw, my everything that I've done. But yeah, I hope this is of help to you guys. I do like to help in any way I can, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share with anybody that might find it useful, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye.